So on the round table, we have some good energy. We have Chanel, fucking West Coast, in the building with us. Welcome to the round table.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you pulling up. We needed this. We needed this good vibe because
you needed a girl. What the?
We needed a female in here, and also your story is dope. I've been watching you do your thing for a while.
Thank you.
I've been watching you multitask.
Yes.
You know, you always have fun. Every time I see you, you're smiling, which is important in life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of motherfuckers just walk around with a chip on their shoulder. People just aren't happy to be here.
Mm-hmm. I know. Trust me. And I feel like it's crazy too because that's I think also like a big misconception about me is like I think a lot of people at first when they started like hearing about me rapping, they're like, what's this bitch rapping about? She's so happy, like her life's so great, like what is a girl like that? You know, but that's the thing is people don't understand. Like I've been through a lot and I've always been able to stay happy. Like comedy's like my you know, that's how I deal with things. Like when I'm sad, I'll put on something funny and try to cheer myself up. So you know, I like to stay positive and stay smiling. Even I'll probably be smiling on a day when I've been through like the craziest, worst shit ever and still be smiling. So
it's important.
Yeah.
I mean, you could dwell on the negative things in life or you could look at the positive things in life. And with this weed, we've been blessed to have this weed. It's easy to clear the mind and get on a good hype.
Yes.
So have you always had this bright of a personality?
I don't know. I don't want to talk. I don't know how to talk about myself like that. I would say yes. Since I was a little girl, like my mom told me, like I always was very bubbly and like I would just go up to strangers. My mom had to be like, no, what are you doing? You know, I'd always just go up to strangers and be like, I like your shirt. My mom said I'd always compliment people's clothing. I don't think I was lying. I think I'd really pick out clothing I like and be like, hey, I fuck with your shirt. Like, so as a kid, I was very outgoing and talkative and since I was little too, my mom noticed I was into music and stuff. So she always encouraged that, and I think because of my bubbly personality, she was like, you know what, let's try to get you into acting or something. So she tried to push me into that when I was little.
So little Chanel had a bright personality from the beginning.
Yes.
Social butterfly.
I was a little bit of a troublemaker too, yeah.
My nickname when I was little was CNN because I would always learn about things. I would see things and I would go tell everyone about it. So when I
you were like the news.
Yeah, I was like the news. Like I'd be like, Mom, did you hear that? She's like, where are you hearing this shit? I'm like, I just learned it. And so I've been a social butterfly too. I like talking with people. That's why I like this. This shit's tight to me. Did you ever, like, growing up, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? You're not supposed to ask a female this, but I'm sorry I fucked up. But
I'm actually proud to say how old I am because I know I look way younger, but I'm 30.
Damn, you young as hell. I'm about to be 36. I'm an OG.
You look young, too.
Thank you. I'm an OG.
I thought you were younger than me or something because, like, I feel like everybody is these days.
Nah. I'm definitely a dinosaur out here. But even at that age, growing up, MTV is like, for me, when I was growing up, I just wanted to either be like Kurt Loder or Simon Rex or I really wanted to be like just a video. I wanted to be on The Real World hella bad.
Yeah.
Like I have to find the tape of it, but I recorded myself. I had long hair like down to here, which no one's ever seen ever because I've either been slick back hair or bald head. But I had long hair down to here, and I remember sending in when I was 18 my video. What do you call it? Like an application to MTV to try to be on The Real World.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Did you ever, like, when you were younger, were you watching MTV? Were you watching TV? Were you like, this is what I want to wiggle into the TV space? Did you know you were
No. Okay, so listen how crazy this is. So, like I said, oh my God, I'm like, I don't want to, get emotional. But I went through a really hard part and a really hard thing in my life. Like my ex-boyfriend was shot and killed when I was like 19.
Wow.
Along with his best friend. And it was very, very hard. And at that time, Robin Big was on TV. And that was one of my favorite shows. Like I remember I would just get high and watch Robin Big. And I never wanted to be on TV myself. Like at that time, I was already pursuing my music. I had a MySpace music page, ancient MySpace.
Shout out to MySpace.
Yes, shout out to Tom. So I was already pursuing my music and stuff, and just around that time, I happened to, I don't know if it was like the energy of me loving Robin Big so much, because I was literally like a mega fan of that show. So it was just a very big coincidence that I happened to run into my boys, Drama and Rob, and I met them, and it's a long story, but basically like Rob asked me like, oh, you want to be on the show? And I needed a job at the time, so I was like, all right, fuck it, I need some money, so like let's do it.
Which is a huge look. It's a big ass show.
Yeah, like, so it kind of happened by accident, basically. Like I didn't ever wanted to do TV really. I knew I wanted to act later down the line, but like music's always been my passion. So like I wanted to do music first and foremost, and then I just ended up on these shows somehow. So. And
I think I don't think it was really an accident, but for someone like you, I could read like people that have good energy, good soul, good personality. You probably, the world, the universe put that in your hands because you were going through some hard times. It's not easy for anyone to deal with. You were 19, you said?
Yeah, I was 18 or 19. It's like I'm such a stoner. I can't believe I don't remember perfectly. But yeah, I was like 18, 19.
That's traumatic as fuck.
Yeah, it was really hard. The hardest part is like, when like it's different when you see your grandpa or somebody old in a casket, because they're old. So they like it's like more natural. But when you see somebody young in a casket, that shit will like really affect you because it's like they look like they're just sleeping and like.
Yeah, and it was your boyfriend too, it was someone you loved.
Well, he was also the first music producer I ever worked with. Damn. So it was like that was one of the reasons too that I started to go really hard with my music because like he actually went way harder than me at the time. So I almost felt like, damn, this guy dedicated his life to music and he lost his chance. So I was like, I really want to go hard for my boys. And like at the time, my only songs I had, he had produced. So I was going hard, pushing them on MySpace. And like, I kind of felt like his beats were able to like live on through my little MySpace page,
100%. Nah.
Yeah, so that's like what made me really start going hard with my music, pretty much.
That's the one thing about music. Like people ask me why I still do it. Like I'm not on the radio. I'm not like a big star. I'm not no Wiz, no Drake, nothing like that.
Sorry about my lip gloss.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm just glad to be able to smoke some papers with you.
And I'm sorry, this chair keeps squeaking. I feel like a old lady. Now I feel really old. Like, hey kids, I'm in my.
Hey, we've been in here for 3 days straight, and I'm a big guy too. So if I go back, it squeaks really loud. It's just that's why I think when people watch back these episodes, I'm sitting like this. Because I don't want to be the guy like this big ass motherfucker keeps moving around. But going back to it, the tight thing about music to me is I'm not as big as some of these other artists, but I've developed a cool core fan base that really fucks with me. Mm-hmm. And I know that when I go, my legacy, my life will live on through the music. Exactly. That's the coolest part about music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people use music to celebrate life when they're down, while they're just riding and getting high, when they're beefing with their girl, when they're celebrating with their girl, when they're, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just to be a part of people's days is pretty dope. And the fact you were doing it when you're 19 and you're still working on it now is a real passion play. It's dope. Yep.
Yes, I'm not gonna stop. It's funny because like people will leave comments too, like, "Oh, bitch, you still doing this?" I'm like, I've done this my whole life. Like this is my hobby, is my passion. Like maybe some people who don't have hobbies or passions don't understand that, So it's like even if it wasn't something like I always say, even if I wasn't on TV and it's like if I was some girl in a small town somewhere, I'd probably be singing at the fucking bar there. You know what I mean? Like that's what I would want to do for my job. Like I like music, so it's like. That's what I do.
Do you feel like the TV has been able to help the music, or has it hurt it because you're so involved in shooting and spending all the time recording it and actually, I mean.
It's so crazy. It's like it's like the scales, how it like weighs itself out here and there, but I don't know. It's hard because I would say before I was on TV, I got people really reacting to my music a lot better, it seemed like at first. They'd be like, oh, wow, this look with this sound, like, dope. And then after I was on TV, it was almost like people didn't get that I was a real artist. It was like they would be like almost treating it as if like I decided to rap out of the blue or something. I don't know. It was a very weird resistance I started to get after being on TV. So I noticed that, and I actually started, I was like, damn, I'm going to have to go hard because now people think I'm just this, like, receptionist girl on this TV show, like, who's always making ditzy blonde comments, and I couldn't also be myself fully on the show, too, because it's like I'm playing a receptionist. Like, I can't, like, be thugging out as a receptionist. I got to be, like, a cute, respectful receptionist. That's how a receptionist acts, So I think that having to act a certain way and people only seeing one side of my personality
for sure,
really was a setback for me because you hear my music and you're like, oh, this bitch is faking, and it's like, no, like that's who I really am. I'm both people that you see, but when you don't see it all together, you don't really, it's harder to get it.
Especially with like a real television show, real production, they want it uniform a certain way. And it's like, look, I almost had a show that I was doing on, I'm not going to say the station, but let's just say it's very close to home. And the way they wanted me to be, it didn't work for me because I was so deep into music and so deep into what I'm doing. I was like, damn, this might fuck me. This might fuck me up. They want to be a certain way. So I know what it could be like being told how to be when they're only seeing one side of you. But at the same time, you do like to show up a lot. Like we watch a lot at the house. We watch it. The whole family watches, and we've been watching for a while. And you bring a certain like personality and swag to the show that's super important for the show. You know what I mean? Like,
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, like you got it popping, and I'm just like, damn, like to be multitasking that and to still be doing music and to. Seems like just by following Instagram, you have fun with your life. That's a blessing, man. Like, just to be out there living it.